we're starting off with kind of a quiet FX market. It's been that way. Volatility is pretty compressed. We have the euro leading the way to the downside, but what's keeping pace is Aussie, which up here I said if you want to play the long side the dollar, you short Aussie or you buy Canada. They'll still look okay. I mean, Canada's trying to come out of here over 40, 50. We could get some more juice to the upside. I actually put out the possibility that on a daily that maybe we could have a third drive to a top up here in Canada, make another new high. And if the Aussie's bad from here, we're going to go to 64, and eventually, my long-standing target's down around 62. Um, Cable, I don't want to mess with it. They have the budget coming up. Maybe at 32.50, if they have some of that out of the way, I'd try it. But I still have a bias, even though the dollar's up here. I talked about a target of about 98 down here. So, it's possible that this is just, the A part of it, and now we're getting a B, and then we still get a C. So, besides Aussie and Canada, not a lot of conviction. I actually still think that there's a long opportunity in euro. What stopped it in its tracks was, I believe it was this daily moving average, the 50-day moving average is what it bumped its head against. So, if we get through this, there's still a shot for 17 to 18 before I would try the short side of the euro. Want to show the yen, looks like, wants another new high. It really fought its way back. If you heard the commentary from Friday, we were down here and I said, I'm not impressed with this. I really don't like it because we've had huge risk off and the yen is not selling off with risk off. So there's some things going on in Japan with the fiscal spend and stuff, and perhaps we're going to try another handle higher. It's not going to confirm anything. I still think that there's an important high coming in, but it's going to have to tie in with yields, I believe. Okay, so when I look at the 10-year, for example, it still looks like it might have some upside left in it. Here's the 10-year right here. So, this is a pretty decent formation. It keeps fighting its way back for 406, and there could be a squeeze, which, could make the yen trade more difficult. And, we head up towards 430, 435 before rates maybe get capped and come back down again. So that's my view on that. I want to talk about the difference. I know to many of you and to me that the S&Ps on Friday felt like Groundhog Day, right? We had this the week before with the huge rally. And I was also doing an interview with Maggie on Friday, and she talked about an analyst who said that a lot of people were get long on Friday afternoon around the close because Mondays have, for the most part, been up days. My comment was I can't trade off of anything like that just because, there have been strong days on Monday like we had last week. So I'm sure that a lot of bulls before today had another sigh of relief. But see the character of the difference between the two. First of all, this started late in the day and was pinned at the high on the close in a position to leave a gap higher opening, whereas this did not finish at the close. We came in 20 higher, I believe, in Asia trading, and now we're down about 14. As far as getting aggressive in the market right now, I'm holding positions and I will hold my bearish semiconductor position. But Wednesday is a key day in the market with NVIDIA's earnings. The whole complexion of it can change. What I'd like to see as a bear is maybe they have decent earnings, but the market still takes it lower. There's all kinds of, Peter Thiel dumped it all as NVIDIA. I think SoftBank did last week. A lot of people coming out of NVIDIA. Maybe, that's a contrarian signal. I don't know, but if we take out 185 in Nvidia, that's how you get 140. But I'm not going to, predict earnings. I'm going to react to earnings. So the most bearish thing it could do is like the earnings and then sell off. Come in with a beat, maybe pop a little bit, and then fail. So this 185 level, and it looks like it wants to hold here, but this 180 level is the key, right? And we touched it again here. Look at the strength of the rally, even in NVIDIA from last Friday compared to so far what we have now. It did this in an almost impulsive fashion, while this may be some type of ABC, maybe back to here, but definitely this is your bull bear line at 180 in NVIDIA. Um, I want to talk a little bit about Bitcoin because I mean everyone's totally bearish Bitcoin now. I was warning people about Bitcoin from 120. So I just want to show you that we're starting to get a little bit of divergence here. There's your 4 hour. Okay, so we made a new low here and we're above it, above 30. It's only the first divergence. It looks like we've had two drives. Maybe that's all it's going to take, but at least we're starting to get new price lows that aren't confirmed. You see, this was not confirmed at new lows compared to this. Maybe we need a rally from here and then one more shot down. And you guys remember, maybe you don't, but you go back to past videos. This black line I have here at 92? That was the breakout line for the market to turn higher here. So here we are back at around 92. So this area is going to be important. And we're starting to get divergences. As I expected, Ethereum's going to be acting better. Ethereum did not make a new low. Oh, it finally did. Took out the crash low. This was a crash low, so it did it. And again, this looks a lot like Bitcoin, but outperforming by triple. It's up 3% with Bitcoin up 1.3. But I would wait for a third drive, let it rally a little bit, and maybe we get one more push down capitulation if we get some risk off. It might be a good week to tread lightly. Also, want to talk about what's happening in the metals. They tried to rally the gold early in the day. S&Ps are coming back, so maybe we'll get that C wave. But the gold is lower, still holding this little formation here, and silver is acting better than gold today. It's up 0.5% with gold flat to lower. Still doesn't look great. I still think you sell rips. I still think there's more downside. Gold silver ratio is pulling back from the bounce that it had last week. Maybe we get an ABC. I don't think we're going to abort this low. And I think there's more left to the upside, which is going to make silver, even though today it's acting better with this pullback in the gold silver ratio, and it may for a few days. I still think that we're going to push higher. And that's going to be an issue for underperformance in silver. We have to watch things like junk bonds. We're right back to where we were. We're putting in a lower high. This is your proxy for credit issues in the shadow banking system, even the commercial banking system. And if we ever start taking out these lows again, there's problems. So not a lot of high conviction trades at the market because of Nvidia. Um, the dollar, because even though we stopped here, I'm not looking for the break to new lows in the euro yet. I still think there's one more leg up before that happens. And remember, this 1550 level was key. Once we got back above 1550, which we identified, we made this move to the 50-day moving average on the daily. I still believe that there could be one more push up above this. Um, Maybe it's this week. We're getting some data. Data's coming back to the market. So here's my tip of the day. When you don't have a lot of conviction, and you know that, but even if you're right for a day or two, that if you're swing trading, that one event is going to be real red. And the NVIDIA earnings I'd put as a red number, it's the market. NVIDIA is the market. So why not wait and before you really get aggressive until that's out of the way? So that's my advice. Just scalp around a little bit, try and be as flat as possible going into the earnings in NVIDIA, and instead of trying to predict it, um, react to it. Uh, Wednesday in the aftermarket or Thursday. So that's a wrap. There is a big difference between how we're trading in the indexes compared to last Friday. Maybe we're going to get another shot up. Maybe this is A, maybe this is B, and this is C. But we know one thing from last Friday that we take out this low from last Friday, which it held. This is a trend line given by a trading friend of mine, K-Man, and it held it. Underneath it, it opens the door. So we'll see what kind of rally we get off these lows. I still don't think we're headed to new highs. And that's going to be a wrap for me. Quick look at WTI. I still think it's going to come out of this sideways consolidation and head towards 64. And that gas is still not doing anything wrong. You got to buy strong pullbacks in that. So I do want to show you guys, here's a new room. So you could find my stuff here. It's Coach Market Analysis. Okay. And as you can see, they're posting some of my streams, but this is where I also, posted my probe in the end, a feeler trade. So this is where you could find my stuff on the new website. Mike's will be under, I don't know if he's under just the main channel, the general channel. Um, I don't see much going on here yet. So, we're working out the bugs, but Mike will have a section here as well. All right. And there's going to be news. Okay. All kinds of news you could go to here as well. You're going to have news on equities, on crypto, a lot of coverage. So check us out. It's free. And with that being said, don't just count your pips, count your blessings, and just stay alert. Sometimes we're paid to do nothing, to wait for something compelling to come to us. And I think most of that starts after Wednesday's earnings of the video. Have a great day, everyone. Hope that what I'm doing here, some of not just the calls, if they work or they don't work, but you're learning what I look at so that you can model that and start looking at things in that way, different way of looking at the market, a lot of momentum work, a lot of pattern recognition work, and a lot of just reading the market and what one sector or instrument means compared to another, like yields and yen, right? Oil in Canada. So, I hope you're learning these things. They'll be good things to have in your toolbox. So I'll see everyone for Turnaround Tuesday. Good hunt.